You must understand why I say older woman. People ask me why I always speak about older women with such admiration, why I choose them, why I defend them, why I love them differently than anyone else. And today I want to make it clear. You must understand why I say older woman. It's not just about age. It's not just about experience. It's about something much deeper. Older women love with wisdom. Not just emotion. Love is not just about excitement. It's not just about butterflies. It's not just about passion. It's about understanding. It's about patience. It's about knowing when to fight and when to let go. It's about choosing each other, not just in the good times, but even in the hardest moments. Older women don't just love for now, they love for a lifetime. They know that love isn't just something you feel, it's something you build, something you protect, something you choose, and that is why I say older woman, because when she loves you forever. Older women have strength that younger hearts cannot understand. Life teaches you things. Pain teaches you things. Heartbreak teaches you things. Loss teaches you things. And older women, they have learned. They have endured things that many would have given up on. They have survived battles that others would have walked away from. They have carried burdens that no one ever saw, and yet they still stand. That strength, that is something I respect. That is something I admire. That is something I choose to love. Because when you love a woman like that, you are not just loving a person, you are loving a warrior. And that is why I say older women know who they are. And that makes all the difference. They don't waste time with games. They don't pretend to be something they're not. They don't base their worth on meaningless attention. They have already figured out who they are. They don't need validation. They don't need approval. They don't need to be saved. They just need a man strong enough to stand beside them. And that is the kind of love I want. Not love based on insecurities. Not love based on fear. Not love based on temporary attraction. But love based on mutual respect. Love that comes from two people who already know their worth and choose to build something together. Older women bring stability, not chaos. Younger love is reckless. It is full of drama. It is full of jealousy. It is full of uncertainty. But older women, they bring peace. They don't create unnecessary problems. They don't waste time with doubt. They don't turn love into a competition. They give security. They give reassurance. They give something you can trust. And trust, that is something I will never take for granted. That is why I say older woman. Older women love differently. And that's what I need. I don't need someone who is still trying to find themselves. I don't need someone who only loves me when it's easy. I don't need someone who is still learning how to love. I need her, a woman who has lived, a woman who has lost, a woman who has learned, a woman who doesn't love with hesitation, a woman who doesn't play games with emotions, a woman who doesn't run when things get hard, a woman who stays, a woman who fights, a woman who builds. And that is why I say older woman, because for me, love isn't just about feelings, it's about who you choose to build your life with, and I choose her. Today, tomorrow, forever. Loving an older woman isn't just a preference, it's a choice built on experience, admiration, and deep respect. People assume it's about physical attraction, or maybe a phase I'll grow out of. But they don't understand. They don't see what I see. They don't know what it feels like to be with someone who brings clarity instead of confusion, maturity instead of insecurity, and depth instead of superficiality. That's why I say older woman. She loves with confidence, not insecurity. She doesn't ask, "Do you still love me?" every other day. She doesn't wonder if she's enough. She doesn't need me to constantly prove my feelings with empty words. She knows where she stands in my life. She knows that love is about consistency, not guessing games. She knows that real affection isn't measured in dramatic gestures, but in the quiet, everyday moments that matter most. She doesn't demand my attention. She earns it without trying, and that makes all the difference. She has lived, and that's why she knows how to love. She has walked through storms. She has seen the worst in people. She has survived heartbreak that would have broken others. And because of that, she doesn't waste time with temporary things. She values loyalty. She values effort. She values sincerity. She doesn't chase what's exciting for a moment. She builds what lasts. That's why I admire her. That's why I trust her. That's why I choose her. She knows that love is more than just feelings. Some people think love is just about how someone makes you feel, but she knows better. She knows love is about showing up even when you don't feel like it. She knows love is about choosing each other even when things aren't perfect. She knows love isn't about finding someone who completes you. It's about being whole on your own and still choosing to share your life. She has no illusions about perfect romance. She knows real relationships take work, patience and understanding. She knows that real love is about partnership, not dependency. And that is something I will always appreciate about her. She gives me the kind of love that brings stability. There's a difference between love that excites you and love that grounds you. With her, I don't feel restless. I don't feel like I have to constantly prove myself. I don't feel like I have to change to fit her expectations. With her, I feel safe. She doesn't create chaos. She doesn't play games. She doesn't make me wonder where I stand. She gives me something I can count on. And in a world full of uncertainty, that kind of love is rare. This is why I choose an older woman. It's not about numbers. It's not about age. It's about who she is. A woman who knows her worth. A woman who doesn't need validation to feel valuable. A woman who doesn't make love difficult. It just comes naturally. That's why I say older woman, because once you've experienced a love like this, there's no going back. It's not a phase. It's not a temporary desire. It's a decision I make with full certainty, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Every time I speak about older women, people assume it's just about attraction. They think I say it because of appearances, because of the way they carry themselves, or because of some fantasy that will fade with time. But what they don't realize is that my choice is rooted in something far deeper than what the world can see. It's about what she brings into my life. It's about who she is at her core. And that's something that no one can understand unless they've experienced it themselves. She knows how to handle life without falling apart. Life isn't always fair. There are struggles that come without warning. There are disappointments that hit when you least expect them. There are moments that test even the strongest of people. But her, she doesn't break under pressure. She doesn't lose herself in chaos. She doesn't let emotions dictate her every decision. She faces things head on. She knows when to fight and when to let go. She knows how to move forward without carrying unnecessary baggage. She knows how to find strength, even in the hardest of moments. That is something I deeply admire. Because when I look for a partner, I don't just want someone who's there for the good times. I want someone who knows how to stand strong when life gets difficult. And she does that effortlessly. She knows the value of effort in a relationship. Love isn't just about feelings. It's not about words whispered in the dark or promises made in the heat of the moment. It's about what you do when it really matters. And older women, they don't love halfway. They put in the effort to make things work. They communicate instead of assuming. They don't rely on unrealistic expectations. They build relationships that actually last. She understands that love requires intentionality. That's why she doesn't just wait for things to happen. She makes them happen. She listens. She adapts. She invests in the relationship, just as much as she expects in return. That's the kind of love I respect. She brings a sense of balance that younger women often lack. It's easy to get caught up in emotions when you're young. One argument can feel like the end of the world. One misunderstanding can turn into a battle of pride. One rough patch can make someone question everything. But her, she doesn't let temporary problems destroy something meaningful. She doesn't react based on impulse. She doesn't believe in throwing away something good over something small. She understands the importance of patience, forgiveness, and compromise. And because of that, she creates a calm and steady love, a love that feels like home. She brings out the best version of me. A real partner doesn't just make you feel good. They make you better. They encourage you to grow. They hold you accountable. They remind you of your worth when you forget it yourself. She does that for me. She doesn't try to change me. She doesn't try to mold me into something I'm not. She simply believes in me, and because of that, I push myself to be the best version of who I already am. That kind of love, it's priceless. So when I say older woman, this is what I mean. I mean someone who loves with maturity. I mean someone who understands the difference between temporary excitement and long-term commitment. I mean someone who brings peace instead of problems. She isn't just a partner. She is a woman who knows her worth. And that is why I choose her. Not because of an idea, not because of a phase, not because of some passing interest, but because I know that when I'm with her, I have everything I could ever need. There is a reason I stand by my words, a reason I choose to say older woman instead of just any woman. It's not just about love, it's not just about admiration, it's about the foundation of a real relationship, one built on trust, wisdom, and emotional stability. This isn't about trends. This isn't about seeking approval. This is about knowing what truly matters in a lifelong partner. And an older woman, she embodies everything I value. She knows how to handle life without creating drama relationships, thrive on peace, not unnecessary arguments. She doesn't start fights for attention. She doesn't let small misunderstandings become big problems. She doesn't believe in playing mind games just to test my love. Instead, she brings clarity and patience. She knows how to talk things through. She knows when to walk away from negativity. She knows that a real partnership is about working together, not competing against each other. With her, I don't have to guess what's wrong. I don't have to beg for honesty. She communicates. And in a world full of miscommunication and mixed signals, that is something I cherish. She is independent but still values love. Some people get into relationships looking for someone to complete them. Not her. She is already whole. She has built her own life. She doesn't need saving. She just wants someone to share her journey with. That is why she doesn't cling to me out of fear. She loves me because she wants to, not because she has to. She doesn't rely on me for happiness. She doesn't lose herself in the relationship. She doesn't expect me to be her entire world. She simply invites me to be a meaningful part of it. And that makes our love stronger. Because when you love someone who already knows their worth, the relationship is never based on insecurity. It's based on choice. She understands that real love is in the details. Love isn't just about grand gestures. It's about the small things. The way she notices when I've had a long day. The way she remembers the things I forget. The way she supports me in ways I didn't even realize I needed. She pays attention. She listens. She cares in a way that isn't just about words, but about actions. That kind of love, it's rare, and I will never take it for granted. She challenges me to be better without trying to change me. There is a difference between being controlled and being encouraged. She doesn't demand that I change. She doesn't criticize who I am. She doesn't expect me to fit into a mold just to meet her standards. Instead, she inspires me. She makes me want to grow. She makes me want to reach my full potential. She makes me see myself in a way I never have before. Not because she forces me to, but because her love naturally brings out the best in me. This is why I say older woman. Because she is not looking for someone to complete her. She is looking for someone to walk beside her. She is not afraid of deep conversations. She is not afraid of love that takes effort. She is not afraid of forever. And when I look at her, I don't just see a woman, I see the partner I've always needed. That is why I say older woman. Because I know that with her, I have found something real, something unbreakable, something timeless, something worth holding on to.